In the little town of Plainfield, Wisconsin, everybody knew Ed Gein. He was that quiet, awkward guy who helped fix fences, did odd jobs, and even babysat for neighbors. He'd wave, smile, maybe give that nervous little laugh of his, and nobody thought much else of him. But behind the walls of his farmhouse, Ed was living in a world only he could understand. When police finally stepped inside in 1957, they found evidence of things so grotesque that people in Plainfield refused to believe it at first. The quiet handyman they had all trusted had turned his home into something out of a nightmare. I'm Logan.
And I'm Ben.
This is Tinfoil Talk. So, I was on the way over here, blasting some tunes. I got to thinking, it's a question for you.
Lay it on me.
I'm going to name 3 artists.
Okay.
You have to pick one to make completely disappear from all of history.
Okay, are these going to be 3 good artists or 3 bad artists?
I'm going to give you 3 artists.
Okay.
Their talent level, I don't think it's subjective, but, people have different taste in music.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, lay them on.
Artist number 1.
Okay.
Eddie Vedder.
There's absolutely no possible way. Eddie Vedder, are we talking him himself, or are we talking...
So just the artist.
So just Eddie Vedder
Just
himself?
the artist.
Well, okay. Absolutely not.
Number 2.
Okay.
Chris Cornell.
Absolutely not.
Number 3. Lane Staley.
You did this on purpose.
I did.
Because you know that these are 3 of, my favorite artists of all time. I mean, dude, if we're talking pure talent, Lane and Cornell are in kind of their own league, I think. Eddie Vedder, obviously, wickedly talented. But I don't think he's in the same conversation as Lane and Chris Cornell. I don't.
Wow.
I mean, dude, you're especially with Lane Staley, you're talking about, in my opinion, the greatest vocalist of all time. There's maybe 3 other people that I can think to having that same conversation.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it would have to be Vedder as much as
Vedder would have to go.
Which is crazy.
Wow.
Because if I were to rank those 3, I would put, Alice in Chains would be 1. Pearl Jam would be 2.
See that? How do you do that?
Well, because you got to think too. Temple of the Dog was Cornell and Eddie Vedder, right? Or was it just Hunger Strike that they featured?
Vedder wasn't in Temple of the Dog.
He was on Hunger Strike.
I don't know that. I know he wasn't in Temple of the Dog.
It
was Cornell and
what?
Who was in Temple of the Dog with Cornell?
I don't remember. Sky Weiland may have been in there. I'm almost certain Eddie Vedder was in Temple of the Dog too, or at least he was for that song. I know he was. Because there's that funny ass music video of they're in a cornfield and Cornell's singing and Vedder's just in the background making some really dumb face. Anyway,
wow. So Vedder's gone.
Yeah.
Snap your fingers. He's gone from all of mankind's history.
Oh gosh, dude, that hurts my soul. I mean, Alice in Chains, Lane, that is not even on the table. I don't think
that's where I was when I thought of this question.
Yeah, Cornell or Vedder, either, and I mean, even because Soundgarden's got some great tunes, but you look at even Lane's work with Mad Season, later on, is still some of the most underrated rock music of all time.
I agree.
Obviously, Alice in Chains gets a lot of the popularity because of how great they were, but Mad Season was just as good. Yeah, that's interesting. What would yours be? Where would you?
I mean, I agree with you in that Lane wouldn't go anywhere. Couldn't do that. I'm a much bigger Pearl Jam guy. Okay. So, I mean, I would have to keep Vedder.
That's fair. I mean, I'm on the fence about it, to be honest. So you would... Cornell would just be erased?
There's a lot of, Pearl Jam songs that would not be the same with anybody else, so I can't...
That's true.
Yeah. Cornell would have to go.
Yeah, and that's the reason I not possible with Alice in Chains.
Oh, yeah.
Because Alice in Chains isn't a band without Lane Staley.
They had some good songs after Lane passed.
Yeah, but I mean, you're removing the nucleus of the band.
Yeah, I'm in agreement with you. But you you are much more staunch in your belief that Alice in Chains stopped when Lane Staley died. They got gems. They got gems.
No, I'm not saying they like. They're still a good band, I'm sure. I don't listen to much of the post Lane era because, I mean, like I've said, he's maybe not the nucleus, but I mean, he is like a humongous percent of the reason that band was so popular.
Cantrell has good vocals.
Jerry Cantrell was also a wonderful backup singer. He had a few songs where he took lead, and they were good. But
have you heard Black Gives Way to Blue? Like the song, not the album?
I'm not sure. Maybe if I've heard it.
Cantrell does the vocals for the song. It's phenomenal. Okay. Great song.
Okay.
All right. So.
Wow.
I think we're unanimous in that Lane Staley goes nowhere.
Yeah, and then it's not even the conversation.
Yeah. I think that's fair.
You could flip a coin for Vedder and Cornell. And which Vedder is the only one of the 5 still left.
Yeah.
Funny that we mentioned we'd get rid of him.
Anyways.
Right, lay this beer on me.
You want to do some beer?
Yeah, what you got? Should I look away? Avert my gaze, perhaps?
Yeah. I'll place it on the table. And before you look, I do want to remind the listeners we're sticking with that Angry Orchard Thriller pack, the themed Halloween cans. So go ahead and take a look at what you got in front of you.
All right. Ooh.
Yeah.
That's a badass can.
Yes, it is. So here we have the Blood Orange hard cider out of the Angry Orchard Thriller pack. It has a nice little Jason Voorhees hockey mask on the side. Looks very cool.
Does look cool. I'm going to go with a crack test. Thought I'd mention, I forget which episode it was that we reviewed the ones that kept spewing. Mm-hmm. I have since cracked and drank 2 more of those. Both of them also spewed fucking everywhere.
So it's just something with
it. It is something in that can that once you release that pressure, it just builds up and I don't know. Yeah, something's up.
It's interesting.
Because I completely forgot about it, and I opened one out there the other night, and
was it good? Like in retrospect,
it was okay. It was like I'd been sitting out there, strumming my guitar, watching a little football, and I was out of Busch Light, and so I looked in there, and that was literally all I had.
Damn.
And I wasn't in any shape to drive to the liquor store or anything.
Fair enough.
So I made a business decision, and it wasn't the best one.
Hippies and cowboys?
Something like that, yeah.
Anyways, whatever.
Let's test these out. Solid crack test, I would say. Give her a little sniff.
That smells delicious.
It does smell really good.
It has like a blood flavor to, or
color.
Color, yeah.
I'm gonna go for. What do you think? Your face is intriguing after you took a sip of that.
A lot of flavor.
Yeah, again, and I think it's going to be a theme with these. It's like the wine cooler taste.
Yeah.
Like it's a sugary drink. I mean, they're good. Don't get me wrong. I like them.
It tastes like Hawaiian Punch.
Yeah.
Or Gatorade.
It tastes like spiked Hawaiian Punch, to be honest. That's a pretty good.
It's not bad.
No, I like it.
Not bad. You care for a little bonus?
Oh, absolutely.
So we missed a week in October. We're not going to be able to review all 4.
Okay.
Because we missed a week.
Yeah, we did miss last week, unfortunately.
Make up a little bit this week. Here we have the Sinful Apple.
Sinful Apple.
Variant out of the Angry Orchard Thriller pack.
Sinful, but it's spelled C-I-N-N. I'm guessing this is going to be cinnamon flavored.
That's what I was thinking, yeah. Again, the cans are absolutely sick.
Whoever designed these cans, you have crushed it.
Yeah.
This
is great.
Cool. I don't even know how to describe this. There's a house.
Yeah.
I would. Are we in hell here?
I wouldn't go that far.
I mean, this tree thing got devil horns and a big fiery tongue.
Well, that's their logo. That's just the Angry Orchard logo.
Oh, that devil face is their logo?
It's not really. It's an angry tree.
Okay.
Angry Orchard.
I'm putting that. There you go. I am putting that together now. Okay.
There we go. All right. Crack test. Crisp.
Pretty good.
Very nice.
I'm gonna give this one a sniff.
This has like a genuine cider color to it.
That does not have a smell. Or am I crazy?
You really got to get in there. I smell apples.
Yeah.
heavy
I think
on the apple.
I smell more of the metallic of the can.
That's true.
All
right, let's go.
Oh man,
Straight apple juice.
that tastes like bush apple.
It's too sweet.
Well,
Too sweet.
it's
For me.
I guess it's maybe just I'm comparing just like the apple
Yeah.
taste.
Yeah. Bush apple. You weren't as high on it as I was.
Yeah, I feel because TikTok and social media, like they made it seem like bush apple was the greatest thing that's ever hit the open market.
Mm-hmm.
And then I got one, and I was like, it's all right. I mean, it's good. Don't get me wrong, but I would prefer like just standard Bush Light.
Yeah, I mean, I would always prefer a standard Bush Light, but that you have to figure it was June. It was hot outside.
This was a while ago, yeah.
It was hot outside. The first time I purchased them, I took them to your parents' house.
Right. Yeah,
We sat out by the pool. It was
smothering hot.
But the bush apple on a nice hot day.
Yeah, it was good. It was good. I'd still don't think that there is anything on this earth that beats like an ice cold Bush Light. I really don't think so.
When we went camping,
Oh my dude.
and Jacob had the dry ice.
So the dry ice strategy was
Oh, my God.
unbelievable, and for some reason I thought beer would freeze.
See,
And if you put it in the freezer, it will freeze.
yes, we've proven that.
Yeah,
We've
but
done
this, I mean, just dry ice had to be, because I mean, you touched it for more than probably 3 or 4 seconds, and you're talking about like third-degree burns.
I was holding it by my fingertips.
Yeah.
Just sipping my freezing cold Bush Light.
Yeah. Oh, it was Mick Ultra we had.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was Mick Ultra. But dude, they were.
Yeah.
That was without a doubt, hands down, the best beer I've ever had in my life.
This is phenomenal.
And
It's hot
not even
outside.
close.
We
It was
were
like
in the middle of the
90
woods.
degrees. We're in the middle of nowhere. It's night 1
Yeah.
of a 3-day camping trip,
Beautiful.
and we have beer that somehow is like in the teens as far as temperature, but it just wasn't frozen somehow. I don't know.
Great. Just
That's
great.
great. So lay it on me. What we talking about today?
Yeah, this isn't great. Preface that here. Give a little bit of a content warning before we get into this. We're going to be dealing with, I don't really know a soft way to say this. We're going to be dealing with corpse mutilation, and
Like necrophilia type shit.
we'll get into that. Not necessarily necrophilia, but just corpse mutilation enough.
Sheesh.
Yeah, we'll get into that. That's not something you want to hear.
Yeah,
Go ahead and click off. All right.
I don't know much about it. I saw the documentary on Netflix. I didn't watch the documentary, but like I saw it like as a recommended thing to watch.
I have thoughts on the documentary. We'll
Yeah.
save those until the end.
Okay. I have every intention on watching it after we discuss it tonight.
I definitely recommend you watch it.
Okay.
Take it with a grain of salt, but watch it.
I shall
All right.
do that.
Edward Ed Theodore Gein was born on August 27th, 1906 in La Crosse, Wisconsin, to George and Augusta Gein. He was the younger of 2 boys. His brother Henry was 5 years older. George and Augusta's marriage was bitter and resentful from the start. They despised one another, but Augusta wanted strong children, and George, a blacksmith, fit the bill.
Not starting great. They despise each other.
Yep.
So that's not ideal. I mean, not the worst thing ever, but
I feel like that probably is the worst thing ever.
well, I guess I meant in terms of like your upbringing. Like if your parents don't like each other,
Yeah.
the worst thing. Like it could be a lot worse, I guess.
Yeah, I guess.
But it's not ideal. I'm not trying to undermine a rocky relationship or anything.
I mean, Augusta, she was forthright with she just wanted strong children. And, of course, like I just said, George was a blacksmith. He's a big, strong guy.
Yeah. Well,
So that's give you kind of a glimpse into the mind of Augusta Gein.
okay.
When Augusta became pregnant with Ed, she prayed for a daughter. Later in Ed's life, she would tell him how disappointed she was that he hadn't been born a girl. After his eventual arrest, Ed admitted that he wanted to become a woman, believing it would please his mother. George Gein drifted through a string of jobs: carpenter, tanner, even firefighter, and reportedly owned a small grocery store for a time. Not reportedly, he and Augusta did own a grocery store. However, the family sold the grocery store and moved to a 155-acre farm in Plainfield, Wisconsin. The relocation wasn't about opportunity. Augusta wanted isolation and total control of her family. Yeah.
Okay. Well, can we backtrack a little bit to... So Ed wanted to become a woman to please his mother.
Yes.
Was there ever any, like, follow-up? Like, did he ever, try to become... Because I imagine back in what I'm assuming this would probably be the... When are we talking? The 20s, 30s, maybe?
What are you be talking about? Yeah,
Late
20s,
teens. 30s. I feel like, a trans person probably is absolutely not welcomed in society back then.
Well,
at least I would think, especially in the Midwest.
Ed does attempt to become a woman, but not nearly how you're thinking.
Okay.
He tries to become a woman.
Okay.
We'll dive into it.
All right, yeah, we'll do it.
George was a violent alcoholic with a come-and-go relationship with his wife and sons. He was physically and verbally abusive, but Augusta's influence ran far deeper. She was domineering, cruelly belittling George in front of their children, and using fear and religion to shape their world. By Ed's early 30s, George was gone from their lives for good. Augusta Gein was a devout, some would say fanatical, Lutheran. Neighbors described her as obsessed with sin, punishment, and divine wrath. She often read to her sons from the Old Testament and the Book of Revelation, hammering home lessons of death, retribution, and eternal damnation. She was especially preoccupied with sexual morality, warning her boys that women were inherently sinful and that lust was a dangerous temptation. The family's isolation only amplified Augusta's control. She forbade Henry and Ed from socializing with the townspeople and punished them harshly for even attempting to make friends. The Gein farmhouse became a closed world of rigid discipline, daily Bible study, and constant judgment. Augusta would often sneer at Ed, telling him, quote, "Only a mother could love you."
Yeah, so the upbringing's not looking good so far.
No.
Some of this is, I would argue, like up there you said fanatical. I would argue that that's pretty true. I think I'd more say radical than fanatical.
Yeah.
Kind of going to the extreme with some of their practices.
They went to school. They were educated up until at least high school. But whenever they would mention, I met this kid that I like we're friends now.
Mm-hmm.
She
shut it down.
We're talking middle school age. Wow. Just shut that down. Tell them God's gonna smite you or something if you continue to make friends.
So do you think she had some kind of mental illness? Well, I would say obviously she did.
Well,
but I just wonder, did nobody see an issue with this, or was it even?
The whole reason she moved the family to the farm was so she could raise her kids like this.
Yeah, I guess that's a good point. Man.
And you figure Ed was born in 1906. She would have been born sometime in the 1880s.
Yeah, if not late, older than that.
Yeah.
Golly, man.
So, this is probably normal.
Yeah.
To a degree.
And you gotta think it's early 1900s Midwest. But anyway, yeah, this is the early 1900s Midwest. I don't know what's going on out there, but I don't imagine every family's like this.
Surely not.
Some of them are probably heavily religious, of course. That's understood.
I think that goes without saying.
Yeah, but to take it to this extreme is...
Yeah. I really want to hammer home how, the grocery store, they were living off a grocery store. They sold the grocery store so she could move her family to this farm.
To the middle of nowhere.
Middle of nowhere.
155 acres, that is a lot.
I thought, as I was doing the story, that's the one bright spot for me, because that sounds great. 155 acres, middle of nowhere. Wisconsin.
155 acres where we live, you're talking over $1.5 million.
Yeah.
To purchase something like that. Yeah. So, which back then probably was a lot cheaper, but
yeah, probably
maybe a little bit.
Yeah. With little contact outside their small family, Ed idolized his mother. Her teachings became his moral framework, and he began to see himself and Augusta as a single, inseparable unit.
It's probably not the ideal relationship to have with your mom. To be an inseparable. I mean, nah, never mind. Not ideal. Not ideal. Given what we know about her so far, it's not ideal that he is idolizing her the way that he is.
Yeah. When George died around 1940, the two brothers started taking odd jobs around Plainfield to keep the farm afloat. For the first time, they interacted regularly with people outside of their mother's control. By 1944, Henry had begun seeing a woman in town and talked about marrying her and moving away. Augusta was furious, reportedly even disowning him. Henry urged Ed to break free from their mother's grip, but Ed refused. He later said it broke his heart to hear his brother speak against their mother.
So did he, I'm guessing, broke off the relationship with the woman in favor of staying?
In a way.
Okay. Oh, are we going to get back into this a little bit?
Yeah, we'll get into it.
Okay.
The relationship ended, yes.
Okay. I just didn't know if she come back up or
No.
take an issue. Well,
on May 16th, 1944, while clearing brush on the farm, Henry and Ed found themselves separated when their controlled burn got out of hand. Flames spread quickly and smoke swallowed the field. Ed emerged from the chaos alone, telling Augusta he couldn't find Henry. He drove into town to alert the fire brigade, and once the flames were contained, a search party was organized to look for his brother. Ed led that search party directly to Henry's body, without hesitation. Henry was found lying on a patch of ground untouched by fire. There were bruises on the back of his head, and his body was positioned strangely, not like someone who had collapsed from smoke inhalation, but as if he had deliberately been placed there.
you looked at me there like you were implicating that Ed may have killed his brother.
Officially, no. Officially, Henry Gein died of smoke inhalation.
So did the smoke hit him on the back of the head?
So the bruises and his odd body positioning, no one put two and two together until after we found out about Ed in the future.
So they see him, and I guess sometimes it's hard to imagine, like when we talk about these people, that before they were what they are known as, they're just regular people. Yeah. And Ed was seen as an upstanding, not controversial citizen that just stayed in his own lane.
You ever seen Sling Blade?
Yeah.
Billy Bob Thornton?
Yeah.
From what I gathered, Ed was viewed as that kind of person.
Okay.
Carl.
Well, he's got some... What was he? He had a...
I don't know. It's been years since I've seen that movie.
Yeah, I don't know if they ever addressed what his condition was, though. I'm not sure.
I don't know, but that's how they viewed Ed. Of course, up until they found whatever they find in his house.
Okay, so
which we'll get into.
Essentially, they're like, yeah, there's absolutely no way Ed did this. He's a good guy. Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Which again, officially, he died of smoke inhalation. So
that's crazy.
We can speculate all we want to. It's 80 years later. We'll never know.
That's absolutely crazy.
Yeah. Despite the circumstances, Ed remained unnervingly calm. He told those around him that Henry was, quote, in a better place. First responders and townspeople quietly questioned what had really happened, but officially, Henry's death was ruled as asphyxiation due to smoke inhalation. With Henry gone, Ed and Augusta were now completely alone on the farm. Ed continued taking odd jobs around town, but he always returned home promptly. Neighbors described them as, quote, recluses who live on another planet. Augusta, now in her mid-60s and in failing health, grew even more bitter and controlling. Her once rigid moral teachings hardened into outright contempt for the world. She scolded Ed constantly about the evils of women, alcohol, and temptation. And Ed, by this point, quite literally worshipped her.
So, I mean, I wonder, if Ed ever noticed, hey, no one else is worshiping their psycho mom. Should I maybe not do that?
Yeah.
Which, again, this is 80-something years ago. Who knows, the thought processes of people have changed since then. But, I don't know, it's hard to...
Again, Ed I think I have it in here somewhere. He had like a middle school education. He may have had some type of learning disability. You'll notice when you watch the show, he's very soft-spoken and timid, and he doesn't rock the boat in any way. Like he's Eddie Gein.
Kind of reminds me of Stephen Avery's. Was it his nephew? The guy that. Are you familiar with the Stephen Avery case?
Yeah.
Whatever the nephew's name was.
I don't know his name.
He was had a learning disability, and
He
like
liked
the
wrestling.
cops. Yeah, the cops essentially forced an admission of guilt from him because he had something mentally wrong with him, and whatever the cop said, hey, you did this, right? And he's just like, yeah, I did it. Obviously, he probably didn't do it, but there's your admission of guilt.
Yeah.
Same vibe, kind of with.
Kinda. Ed wasn't fully mentally capable of taking care of himself.
Okay.
And
but not enough to where he could probably live on his own, maybe.
He's functioning. Like he goes into town by himself. He works jobs. He takes care of the farm.
Okay.
But it's because that's what he's done since he was a kid.
Yeah.
Except for the going into town part, but taking care of the farm and manual labor, that's what he knows.
Yeah. Okay.
In late 1944, just months after Henry's death, Augusta suffered her first stroke. It left her partially paralyzed and barely able to speak. Ed devoted himself completely to her care. He cooked, cleaned, read scripture to her, even bathed her. When people in town asked about his mother, he would grow visibly upset and say, quote, "She's all I have left now." His lifelong devotion to her transformed into something deeper, an obsession. Then, in December of 1945, tragedy struck again. Ed and Augusta went to a neighboring farm to collect rent from a tenant who had planted on their land. When they arrived, the man was in the middle of beating his girlfriend's dog. Augusta exploded, not over the animal abuse, but because the couple was unmarried and living together. The outburst left her shaken, and soon after, she suffered a second stroke. She died on December 29th, 1945.
So a lot to unpack there.
Yes. Yep.
So they were renting, I'm guessing, a house on their farm.
No. So the farmer they went and visited, he had planted on their land.
Okay, so they were. Okay, I understand. They were I guess, leasing the land.
More or less.
Okay.
More or less.
To this farmer.
They have 155 acres, but they're not growing crops.
Okay.
I don't understand what they were doing with 155 acres.
I don't know.
There's no crops being grown there. This other farmer was. But what stuck out to me was Augusta. It's very vivid in the show, this part. But she's not upset over the dog getting beat. She's upset that this farmer has a girlfriend and they're living together, but they're not married. She's giving them a very hellfire and brimstone type talk, I guess. That's all she's worried about, is that they're not married and they live together.
So she didn't give two shits about the dog.
No,
she's just hell-bent because two people that are not married are living together.
Yep. It is funny because everything we know about Augusta Gein, she was a very shitty person. It's funny that this is how she died. She was giving this teaching to this farmer and his girlfriend, and she had another stroke.
Sucks to suck.
Yeah.
That does suck, though.
It is very unfortunate.
To have that type of outlook.
Yes.
It's unfortunate.
Yeah. With Augusta and Henry both gone, Ed was now completely alone in the farmhouse. He was 39 years old, socially awkward, barely educated beyond grade school, and suddenly without any structure in his life. He still made trips into town where people described him as polite but off. He had a nervous laugh, spoke softly, and carried himself with a strange, childlike demeanor. To make ends meet, Ed took on odd jobs, fencing, carpentry work, and even the occasional babysitting gig. Meanwhile, the farmhouse began to decay around him. Trash piled up, the roof leaked, and the walls grew dark with grime. He sealed off Augusta's bedroom and the parlor, leaving them untouched, frozen exactly as they had been when she was alive. Neighbors who caught glimpses described those rooms as more of a shrine than part of the house. Ed himself slept on a cot near the kitchen, surrounded by piles of tools, newspapers, and junk.
Not ideal there, Ed.
Yeah.
So he's still living on the 155 acre farm.
Yeah.
Okay.
He can't, at this point, he can't leave it because it's where his mother is.
Yeah. I'm not sure I would trust old Ed to watch my kid.
No.
Not going to lie to you.
No. But again, Ed was viewed as this awkward, couldn't hurt a fly goofball around town. Like nobody thought he would do anything.
And that's
like
fair.
This.
I guess if you're not jumping to, which I mean, his brother's death, like to me that should raise a red flag.
Yeah, but when we're looking at it in retrospect,
hindsight's 20/20. Yeah, I know. But even then, like you think today, and maybe the public didn't get all the information back then. Who knows? Like,
sure.
More than likely, all the public got was there's a big fire. Oh, his brother died of smoke inhalation. They probably didn't even know that there was big bruises on the back of his head.
Once the medical examiner said he died from smoke inhalation, it's the end of it.
Yeah, that's
tragic, but that's it.
That's the story.
Yeah.
So I guess it makes sense. I mean, he's just a poor guy who's not even 40 and he's lost his whole family.
Yeah. Whenever they eventually get in his house after his arrest, think like a hoarder's house.
Hoarder.
Just trash piled up everywhere, except for his mother's room. It's kept pristine.
Wow.
In his sorry.
No, I'm sorry. No, I was just gonna say it's pretty sad.
Yeah, it's very unfortunate.
Yeah.
In his solitude, Ed began to hear his mother's voice echo through the halls, scolding him, warning him about sin and temptation, just as she had in life. So that's accurate. He says he heard his mother talk to him often.
Yeah, that is not ideal.
No.
At all.
No. Around this same time, he developed a new obsession: pulp magazines and true crime digest. He became fascinated with stories of Nazi medical experiments, female corpses, and sex crimes.
Yeah, also not ideal.
No.
Yeah, that's...
Where do you even get this kind of stuff in
where
1945
in the world,
Wisconsin?
In 1945 in the Midwest, you just go to the public library and you're like, yes, excuse me, librarian.
Give me everything you have on female corpses and sex crimes, please.
Yeah, give me everything you have on Nazi medical experiments, dead women's bodies, and sexual-oriented crimes, please.
Yeah, this is like one thing that I can't quite understand.
Yeah, where in the world? Like, I would get one of these things if you're like, oh, he was really into reading, stories of Nazi medical experiments. Like, sure, I mean, the Nazi regime was just taking a tumble around this time, really.
Yeah.
So it's probably not hard to get your hands on some literature, but the other two, that's I feel like that would be hard to get your hands on today.
Yeah.
To be honest, I wouldn't know where to get that.
Well, I mean, sex crimes. We've covered sex crimes.
Well, that's true. Yeah, I guess you could. I mean, honestly, I guess I meant a hard copy.
Like we've covered. Book. We just did the Ripper Crew.
Yeah,
that involves everything but Nazi medical experiment.
But you take away the internet. Like if you went to the library.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
And you asked for these things. More than likely, the librarian would hopefully ask you to leave, unless you provide a justification for what you're doing.
So this next part, I put it in here. The show talks about it, and it was a real magazine or a comic, but I can't say for sure if this is actually something he took inspiration from, but it's in here anyways. One comic in particular captured his attention: The Bitch of Buchenwald, based on a real-life Nazi, Elsa Koch. Her name is, yes. What would you look at me like that for? Her name
Interesting
is
last name
Koch.
for sure.
She's German.
Okay.
Was German.
I'm just saying.
Yeah. She was the wife of a concentration camp commander known for her cruelty and her disturbing fixation on human skin and tattoos. So she's absolutely real. She could be a story. Very,
I imagine
very sadistic human being.
Yeah, I imagine most people affiliated with the Nazi Party are at least the high-ranking officers.
Yeah.
That were aware of what was actually going on are probably not good people.
She wasn't like a scientist or anything like that. Her husband ran a concentration camp, and she just did experiments.
Yeah, that would give, and that's crazy, man.
Yeah.
Like I mean, like, where does that? Nah, never mind.
How do you develop that thought?
Yeah, it's like, are we nature versus nurture here? Because I refuse to believe that person was born. Like, you're not born that way. There has to be some sort of influence, or I mean, maybe you are born that way. I mean,
you think the Nazis viewed Jewish people as literally subhuman.
Yeah.
Like, they weren't even human.
Well, they saw them as like the evil force that is ruining the world. Like, that was their justification. These high-ranking Nazi officials are being told by, I'm guessing, Hitler and his immediate circle that the Jews are to blame.
Yeah.
And then you have this kind of subset of people like this woman who didn't have any power, but she's married to somebody who has a ton of power.
Yeah.
And so it just kind of goes hand in hand with like death and destruction.
That
Bad, really, really bad combination.
To me, that goes like more hand in hand with like, what would you do if no one was looking?
Mm-hmm.
Because,
or if there's no repercussions at all.
Yeah, I mean, you have the opportunity to do whatever you want to a group of human beings without repercussions. Like, you're not going to go to jail for killing someone in a concentration camp.
No, you're going to be rewarded.
Yeah.
Like, not only do you have the opportunity to like torture and murder someone, you have the opportunity to do to do it, B, to do it and like it, C, to do it like it and get rewarded for it.
Yeah.
So it's like a trifecta
weird.
of just it's awful.
It's so weird.
It's such a horrible thing that
it's an interesting concept to think, like,
how did it get that far?
Yeah.
Is that where I kind of
like, where in a certain human's mind do they look at this situation? They're like, I can do whatever I want to. I'm going to do whatever I want to.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Well, and that could even be tied back to like any serial murderer or like terrorist or anybody that has any sort of power that does something that hurts somebody else or a large group of people. Like, how can you do that and then just be okay with it, knowing that like you hurt people?
Yeah.
And I mean, we see it today. We saw it here. You see it.
Some people are just missing something in their
Yeah,
brains.
it's like lack of empathy, I think.
Yeah.
Lack of being able to put yourself in someone else's shoes and
Sure.
think about, like, what would it be like if this was somebody doing this to me and there was nothing I could do about it?
Yeah. Well, I'm going way off topic there. Let's get back on track. No worries. Ed's curiosity soon expanded to books about anatomy, cannibalism, and tribal rituals. Anything that involved transforming or preserving the human body. Many believe that this fascination, combined with his desperate attachment to his mother, led him to fantasize about somehow bringing her back to life.
Like witchcraft type stuff?
Necromancy.
Necromancy? Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Not in a good way in this situation, but
well, yeah, this is terrible.
Yeah. I wonder, do you know what kind of like books he had? Like, do you have actual books that?
I have no idea.
That would be interesting to find out. Like,
I mean, Necronomicon.
What is that?
It is. I don't know if it's like an ancient text or if it's like a H.P. Lovecraft type thing, but it deals with necromancy and like raising the dead.
Interesting.
Conversing with demons and
I wonder if he had his hands on that.
I mean, I think it's within reason, probably.
Yeah, more than likely.
Yeah. Before long, rumors began to swirl in Plainfield. Children claimed that Ed had a collection of shrunken heads. Trophies, he said, came from the South Seas. No one knows if he ever actually showed them anything, but the stories spread fast. Some kids swore they saw an old woman dancing and beating a tambourine in Ed's yard at night. Whether it was just imagination or something far darker, the Gein farmhouse was becoming the center of small-town folklore.
So, I mean, it's becoming the creepy house.
Yeah.
Like everybody, I mean, you think back to your childhood, you can more than likely think of that one house that nobody wanted to go around, but everybody wanted to see, because it was creepy, or like, oh, there's an old guy lives in there and he kills people, just the typical rumors.
Which they, again, at this point, they don't view Ed as a murderer. Like, they, the shrunken heads, he may or may not have shown some of the kids shrunken heads. Okay, I mean, kids are going to make up stories like that anyways.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
But if you don't remember anything from what is potentially going to be part 1, remember this. The ghost story about the old lady dancing on the front lawn.
Okay.
Remember that.
You teasing a part 2 right now?
We're creeping up there. This could be 2 parts.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Interesting. We'll have not yet had a 2-part story. Oklahoma City had a precursor.
Ed and Rose?
Shit, Ed and Rose, or Fred and Rose did, didn't it?
Ed and Rose. Fred and Rose,
yeah.
Fred and Rose West was a 2-part.
Fred and Rose was a 2-parter. You are correct. Never mind.
Yep. I mean...
So, okay. Anyway, back on topic.
This could have been 3, to be honest. I could have pumped this up. This could have been 3 parts.
Dang.
Yeah.
That'd be crazy.
Yeah.
But, so he's... Keep in mind, you said...
Keep in mind the ghost story.
The lady dancing with a tambourine.
The kids would, they're walking down the kids walking down the back roads. They would see a ghost or an old lady dancing on the front lawn.
Okay.
Remember that.
All right. I'll keep that in mind.
That's going to tie into something here later on.
Okay. What is it, I'm going to get off topic again, but what's I think it's in Spain. It's the La Llorona? Is that it? The dancing lady?
That's in Mexico, but
Mexico, yes, Mexico. Yeah. The dancing lady of death or whatever.
She didn't, she was the weeping lady.
Or the weeping lady.
She wore white.
Apparently, if
weeps.
you came into contact with her, though, you were...
Yeah, it's like a
death omen or something.
Something like that.
Maybe. I'm not familiar. I was hoping you would know and you would pick up there.
I know what I know is from the movie.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. It's been so long since I've seen the movie. It was good ass. It was scary.
Yeah, it was.
Anywho.
Ed started making nightly trips to the local cemetery, at first to visit his mother's grave and later to dig. He began targeting the freshly buried women who, in his mind, resembled Augusta. At first, he only exhumed bodies to collect individual parts for what he called his, quote, experiments. He'd bring the remains home, clean and preserve them, or study their anatomy. Ed later said he felt half asleep, quote, half asleep, during these acts, as though he were detached from reality, trapped in a trance, which is a sign of psychosis.
So he would dig did nobody notice the freshly dug up graves? Or was this...
That I don't know.
Or maybe he would just, I guess, toss the dirt back in and...
Maybe, but still, like, you're going to notice freshly turned dirt over your recently buried loved one.
That's true. But, if it's recently buried, maybe the dirt hasn't settled. Maybe you can't even tell that anything's changed.
They could have assumed it was grave robbers, which I'm sure was more common back then.
He also could have made his move, the day after. Dug them up and...
Yeah.
Threw the dirt back on. You can't even tell anything changed.
He was looking for women who were very recently buried. He wanted them to be as fresh as he could.
God.
Yeah.
There's not a lot that we've talked about. I think Fred and Rose West, honestly, was the last time that we talked about something, and it just made my stomach turn.
Yeah.
But something about grave robbers digging up bodies. Yeah. You watch a movie and somebody's like, "Oh, we got to." The National Treasure movies, I think.
Yeah.
It just makes my stomach.
Yeah. It's brutal. Brutal stuff. I do want to hammer home the psychosis tie-in. He said a lot in the interviews after the fact. He often felt half asleep, which that shows detachment from what you're actually doing, which is psychosis.
Like a derealization type.
Yeah. Something like that.
Sheesh.
I'm not a psychiatrist. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not either. I know if you see it online, derealizations where you lose touch with real life.
What is it? Derealizations?
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's where you and I could be. I'm not an expert, obviously, but I think it's where you.
Somebody's gonna get pissed off.
Yeah, somebody that suffers from this can be like, "Oh, you fucking idiots!"
Yeah.
But no, you cannot distinguish between reality and then what's not considered reality.
Yeah. For sure, yeah, that's good. These macabre experiments would continue for years, their full horror only revealed later, when police finally searched his home. During this time, Ed was still seen by most of Plainfield as harmless Eddie Gein. He was odd, yes, but friendly. The kind of man who might fix your fence and watch your kids for a few dollars. No one could have imagined that inside his home were the remains of more than a dozen exhumed bodies. From 1947 to 1954, Ed Gein routinely raided graves under cover of night, harvesting parts for his secret projects. Then, on December 8th, 1954, he escalated, from grave robber to murderer.
I knew it.
On the night of December 8th, 1954, Ed drove 6 miles from his farmhouse to Hogan's Tavern, where 51-year-old Mary Hogan was tending bar. No one knows exactly how the night unfolded. They were the only two there, but by the end of it, Mary was dead. Ed had shot her with a .38 caliber pistol, loaded her body into his truck, and took her home to the farm. The next day, when townspeople discovered the blood-stained scene, they joked that Mary must have run off somehow. That part never made sense to me.
Yeah, run off.
How do you joke that she ran off when there's blood in her bar?
Yeah, it's like, uh-oh. Haha. Old Mary's up to it again.
Yeah.
It's like, no, that's something obviously has happened here, people.
I don't get that at all. Ed reportedly said, quote, "She's not missing. She's at my house." Everyone laughed, assuming it was another one of Ed's strange jokes.
So there's been no discovery so far of the exhumed bodies.
Nobody knows anything about what has happened at the farmhouse yet.
And then there's blood at the crime scene, and Ed just admitted to having her. And they just like, what the hell?
From what I understand, he delivered that very deadpan. There was no, laugh. It was just, "She's not missing. She's at my house."
And they just were like, "Oh, Ed.
You funny guy.
God almighty, dude.
Yeah. For the next 3 years, life in Plainfield moved on. Ed kept exhuming graves in secret, feeding his grotesque curiosity until November 16th, 1957, the day he claimed his second victim. That morning, Ed stopped by Warden's hardware store in Plainfield. He was there to buy antifreeze, something he used to preserve the human remains he kept in his home. Behind the counter was 58-year-old Bernice Warden, the store's owner. Ed entered carrying a .22 caliber rifle slung over his shoulder. In rural Wisconsin, on the first day of deer season, no one thought much of it. Ed later claimed that while handling a rifle for sale in the store, it, quote, "accidentally went off, shooting Bernice in the back of the head. But the spent casing found at the scene matched a rifle he already owned, and none of the shop's guns were loaded."
I'm assuming, this was after he...
Yeah, sorry,
Okay,
yes. He admitted it was an accident after he was arrested.
Okay. I was making sure, you weren't about to say this was the few weeks later. And
No.
you were like, "Oh, okay, no problem."
No.
Just brushed it off.
No.
I mean, it wouldn't surprise me, but
Yeah.
you never know.
No, he said that after he was arrested. And this was 3 years after Mary's murder.
Okay.
That evening, Bernice's son, Deputy Sheriff Frank Warden, stopped by to check on his mother. The store was dark, the cash register was open, and a trail of blood led out the back door. And Bernice was gone. On the counter sat the last receipt from that day. A sale for antifreeze was written out to Ed Gein.
I mean, there's your trail.
Yeah.
You know, I get...
Makes you think they're going to go right to him, right?
Of course. I would assume the next stop is Ed Gein's house.
Yeah, you would think that, wouldn't you?
I would.
Yeah.
Anything less than that is not acceptable.
No, yeah.
That's
No, yeah, we'll get into it. Frank immediately contacted Sheriff Art Schley. I'm not sure how to pronounce his last name, I'll be honest.
I think that looks like Chalet, maybe.
Yeah. Both men already knew of Ed's strange fixation on his mother and his odd behavior around town. When they found the receipt, the decision was easy. They needed to find Ed.
Here we go. Some common sense.
Yeah. I mean,
That is good.
I feel like that makes sense. You find evidence of a violent crime. The last person you can say was in the store was Ed Gein.
And theoretically, could be nothing.
Yeah.
Ed may have just been in there buying some antifreeze.
Innocent until proven guilty.
And
They just want to talk to him at this point.
Yeah. At this point, do everything you have to do to either prove his innocence or prove his guilt.
Yeah.
Like, don't.
But you start with going to talk to him.
Yeah, he's the last known interaction.
Yeah, makes sense. Around 7 p.m. that day, officers located him at a neighbor's home and arrested him without incident. Ed was calm, polite, even casual, saying he had been at the store earlier to buy antifreeze, but he left right after. During questioning, however, Ed broke down and began to cry. Sheriff Schley and Deputy Warden decided they needed to search the Gein farm. The officers drove 7 miles out of town into the freezing dark. The farmhouse sat in ruin, lit only by the weak glow of their flashlights. The air was thick with the smell of decay.
That's pretty nasty.
Yeah.
It still is lost on me how the dozens of bodies, or a dozen maybe, I don't remember what you said at this point, that have vanished from their gravesite and has not been noticed.
He didn't start by taking like full bodies. He would go and take fingers or a leg or a head.
But even still, you're digging it
Yeah.
up. So you're like disturbing the ground. I would imagine at some point somebody would see this and be like, uh-oh, if anything, we have a grave robber.
Yeah.
Or like, I mean, you're not going to assume that it's somebody like
It's
doing whatever he's doing, but
it can't be a big town. There could not have been that many fresh graves.
no, surely not.
Like that he could have targeted to, I guess, not stand out. Like you had mentioned earlier, maybe he was going specifically for the fresh graves.
Yeah.
There can't be that many women dying in Plainfield, Wisconsin.
That are resembling to his mother
Yeah.
enough to where he feels the need to go and dig them up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
would agree with that.
I want to reiterate that. So, again, 1957. There's no electricity on the Gein farm. The utilities. 7 p.m. in winter. It's dark. It's cold. The only thing you have is a flashlight, and you're searching this farm.
Mm.
Yeah. And it's a weak flashlight.
And you're talking, which probably not the whole 155 acres, but
Started with
the house and then the immediate area, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But that would be a difficult task, even that, with just a flashlight in the freezer. Because I've been to Wisconsin, and this was in May.
Yeah.
And it was like in the 30s at night.
Damn.
So I can't imagine wintertime.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I'm sure it gets insane.
Damn near like Arctic Circle temperatures.
Yeah, definitely
I
a lot
say.
colder than it gets here.
Yeah. They started with the barn. When one deputy shined his light towards the rafters, he saw what he thought was a gutted deer. But as he moved closer, the beam revealed the truth. The body of Bernice Worden, decapitated, hanging upside down. Her body was split open and gutted. Her head was found in a burlap sack nearby. Ed would later say he hung her up, quote, like a deer. Which, you helped me clean a deer one time.
I do remember that, yeah.
Imagine that, but it's a woman.
I mean, I'm not going to lie to you, there were moments where, because I didn't, I know we both grew up in southern Tennessee.
Yeah.
So it is a common practice around here for people to kill deer, clean it, keep the meat, all that stuff.
Yeah.
I, for one, was not raised in that kind of household. My family did not hunt or anything like that.
Yeah.
So that was my first time ever doing that. And there were a couple times where, like,
You had to step away.
Yeah, there was a certain smell where it would just be like a gut smell.
Yep.
And it's just like, oof. And if you're used to it, like once we got later on in that event, I got used to it. But at first, it was just a really horrible smell. I could not even begin to fathom that being a human being. And especially for what I assume is his first time doing this. I mean, maybe not. We're not that far yet. I have no idea. But what I assume is his first time killing someone and hanging them up to be able to just chop them up. And this is, I guess, where like the separation from reality comes in.
Yeah.
That you're able to.
I mean, him saying he hung her up like a deer, the first day of deer season.
Yeah.
Like in my mind, I'm thinking he literally viewed her like he had just killed a deer and he was cleaning a deer.
Well, I mean, and you think back, he's reading these Nazi texts where these Nazis don't view the people they were killing as even human beings.
Yeah, that's true.
Because like you hear that statement and you're like, oh yeah, well they just didn't think much of them. It's like, no, they quite literally did not view them as the same species.
Yeah.
So that's kind of thinking that might be kind of where Ed's head is.
Perhaps. I mean, we'll never truly know what went through his head. I don't want you to read ahead.
Okay.
I'm going to account for what was found in the house. I don't want you to read it. I want you to hear.
Okay.
What I'm saying they found.
Okay.
Inside the house, the horror multiplied. The deputies stepped into a scene that defied comprehension. A home consumed by filth, trash piled waist high, empty chili cans scattered across the floor, and everywhere the smell of rot. Don't read your outline.
I'm trying not to read it. It's really hard not to read ahead. Sorry, go ahead.
And then the projects. They found boxes and barrels filled with human bones, bowls made from human skulls, chairs upholstered in human skin, preserved organs stored in jars and cans, Mary Hogan's severed head in a paper sack, a pair of lips tacked to a window shade drawstring, 4 human noses scattered about, 9 vulvas preserved in a shoebox, skulls mounted on the bedpost, a lampshade and wastebasket made of human skin, a belt fashioned from human nipples. Upstairs, the discoveries grew even more disturbing. Mary Hogan's face turned into a mask, leggings made from human skin, a corset fashioned from a woman's torso. In the centerpiece was a full-body, quote, woman suit that Ed admitted to wearing at night to, quote, become his mother. The stories from the local kids about a ghostly woman dancing in the moonlight weren't ghost stories at all. It was Ed wearing the suit, twirling in the yard beneath the stars.
I'm looking for words. Just give me a minute.
Take your time.
So you may have to edit out some of the silence, but I have absolutely nothing to say.
Yeah.
That is, I would say there's not even a string of words I can put together that describes, like, imagine being on that scene and you're seeing all of this.
Yeah.
And the craziest thing you've ever seen is maybe like a gunshot wound to the face or something.
You're talking about a time where, like, men, or I guess women talking about their menstrual cycles, men would lose their mind.
Seen as like taboo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You go into a house and you find all of this.
This is, I would say, almost otherworldly.
Yeah.
Like, this is not only has this never been seen before in Wisconsin, this has never been seen before.
Well, maybe not. Sure, there were, like, lost tribes.
I just meant like
civilized,
right,
humanity, like,
right. And it probably has been,
happen.
even though, but not in a small town in Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Like,
this would be like there were
in
like
the 1950s.
like 600 people living in Plainfield, something like that. There are 8,000 people living in this town.
I wouldn't know what to imagine if this got found out. That, like, if this was happening in the town we live in.
Yeah.
I don't know. I wouldn't want to live here anymore. I know
No, for sure. Yeah, I'd be gone.
Like, I don't care if they caught the guy or not.
But that part with the woman suit, like, it's not like this is speculation. Ed admitted he would put on his woman suit and go outside and just dance around the yard.
So earlier you said that technically he kind of did become a woman, just not in the way I'm thinking.
Yep.
You were right. Yep. That is not the way I was thinking that he would become a woman.
Mm-hmm.
Was wearing a woman's skin suit.
And who does this remind you of? He took the woman's head, removed the face, and then wore it.
Who does this remind me of?
Yeah. In pop culture. Think pop culture.
I don't know.
You ever seen Texas Chainsaw Massacre?
As a kid, yeah. It's been a long time.
Leatherface, he had
the
lady's face.
Yeah.
You watch the show. Like, after we do this show, watch the monster show on Ed Gein.
Okay, I will.
There are, take it with a grain of salt. There were a lot of things that happened on the show that just did not happen in real life.
And they like to spin that a lot of times. Like even with the Fred and Rose documentary, they threw in a lot of crap that didn't happen, or that maybe you don't know it didn't happen, but
it's a dramatization. But this story is creepy enough by itself.
This is beyond creepy.
Yeah.
This is something that, I mean, I've never heard of this before. I didn't know. Like I'd heard Ed Gein's name. I had no idea that this is what he was involved in.
Yep.
Yeah, this is vile. I don't. There's not really a good. There's nothing to say here.
Not a lot to say about that.
This is just grotesque and vile.
This is just something that happened in mankind's history.
Yeah, it is the utmost definition of disturbing.
Yeah,
I would say.
Yeah,
it's like where do you even? Like it's one thing to have a thought, like to crack a joke, right? And even that is a lot. Like you make a joke out of something like this, and I mean I don't even think it'd be funny, but to actually do this,
no, I don't think a joke about any of that.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like that's like making the point of how unbelievable this is. Like most crazy things you can joke about, and you're like, oh yeah, you're crazy. But this one, if you joke about any of this, people are like, what the fuck? You're gonna make a belt out of my that's it's absurd. Thanks for telling me not to read ahead because I think it would have taken away from
I think that added to
the experience a little bit.
Yeah.
I was just staring at you while you said some of that.
Yeah.
And you just kept going.
Yeah.
I was like, holy shit.
Ed was taken into custody without resistance. He calmly admitted to, quote, robbing graves and doing a few murders. During his interrogation, he confessed to killing both Mary Hogan and Bernice Worden and to exhuming the bodies of women who reminded him of Augusta. Parts of his confession were later ruled inadmissible after claims that Sheriff Schley had beaten him during questioning.
I hope he was beaten, personally. I don't really see a problem with him getting beat, to be honest. I mean, in standard practice, I don't think police brutality is warranted, obviously, but in this specific case...
Well, they shot themselves in the foot because they lost evidence over it.
I mean, I have to imagine he went to prison forever. I don't like that look of it. Okay, keep reading.
Throughout the interviews, Ed remained detached, confused, and emotionless. Psychiatrists later described his mental state as completely unmoored from reality. He was formally charged with the murder of Bernice Worden, and the case proceeded to a competency hearing. Dr. George Ardent, Dr. Edward Schubert diagnosed Ed with schizophrenia and psychosis, stating that he could no longer distinguish fantasy from reality. In 1958, Ed Gein was declared legally insane and unfit to stand trial, the only serial killer in American history to receive that ruling, still to this day.
Why was he not fit to stand trial? Like, I get what he did was egregious, but apparently was he not just reportedly like pretty calm? And
he was calm. It was absolutely calm, but
he's living on his own, like grocery shopping. And I get what he did was quite literally unbelievable, but why is he not fit to stand trial?
The doctors pretty much said he is like you and I. You know, we can find the shock in everything we just said. Ed can't. Ed could not distinguish good and bad, real life, and what was happening in his head. He couldn't do it.
So that makes him, I guess, in the legal system's eyes, that means you can't go to prison. Like, I guess
that's pretty much like, yes, they're admitting, yes, he did horrible things. Mentally, we can't say he was completely in control.
Okay.
During his spree.
Okay, makes sense.
So yes, he's guilty of this. As far as like an outright trial that anyone else would get, he can't do that.
Okay.
Because he's never going to be able to see what he did was wrong.
Right. So there's no point in having a trial because he admitted, like,
Yeah.
And even
he admitted to everything.
Yeah, he admitted to it. And even if you have a trial, obviously there's going to be no remorse or any understanding that, hey, Ed, you're here because of what you did.
Yeah.
Now, he would know that, but I don't think he would care.
He would. I mean, it's not that he would care; it's that he wouldn't
understand.
He wouldn't understand. Like, why are you mad at me?
That's wild.
All I did was
so wild.
This. I was trying to bring my mother back. I wanted to be my mother. Like, why are you mad at me?
Oh my gosh, man!
Is what I comprehend. Of course, I don't know.
What I mean that explanation makes sense to me. To him, it's justified. I guess
not even justified. Like it's just
it makes sense to him that what he was doing. It doesn't make sense that he's being punished for it.
Yeah.
Which is a mindset that I pray never finds me.
To him, what he did was the equivalent of taking out the trash for you and I. Like, take out the trash. Oh, I'm fashioning this nipple belt.
Oh my god, dude. Okay. Yeah. Well, I mean, as long as he goes to prison forever, or at least is in a psychiatric facility under supervision for the remainder of his life.
January 1958, Ed Gein was declared... I already read all that.
You didn't comment on my...
Instead of prison, he was committed to Central State Hospital under 24-hour psychiatric care. There you go.
Okay, I mean, I can take that.
Yeah.
As long as he's not out in public anymore.
Yeah. For the next decade, Ed was quiet and compliant. He caused no problems, did chores around the ward, and rarely spoke of his crimes, referring to them only as, quote, the things I had to do. Staff described him as childlike, detached, and eerily content. By 1968, doctors determined he was competent enough to stand trial. He waived his right to a jury, and after a week-long proceeding, the judge found him guilty, but legally insane.
How can a judge find someone insane after they've just been declared competent by a doctor?
He was competent to stand trial.
So he was competent to stand his trial. Yet I guess he could still be.
After 10 years of rehabilitation.
Okay.
He is mentally aware of what he did.
Okay, yeah, makes sense.
He can talk about it in court, but
I kind of read that as like the judge, I guess, heard the doctor say, "Oh yeah, he's mentally incompetent," and then ruled against it anyway, saying that no, he's still insane.
Yeah. All the doctor was determining is, can he go to trial?
Okay.
And the judge took the last 10 years, his crimes, what the doctors are saying, and he's guilty again, but legally insane.
Okay, fair enough. I mean, yeah, he's clearly fucking out of his mind. So.
Yeah. Ed was sentenced to indefinite confinement, first at Central State, but later transferred to Mendota Mental Health Institute. There, on medication for his schizophrenia, Ed Gein thrived. He was tidy, polite, and helpful around the hospital. He'd never admitted guilt, instead claiming that his acts were driven by some uncontrollable force. After more than 25 years in institutional care, Ed Gein died on July 26, 1984, from lung cancer and heart failure. He was 77 years old.
See, that one part where you said he never admitted any guilt,
yeah,
and that he claimed that what he did was driven by an uncontrollable force, that kind of scares me a little bit. Because it's not like he's saying that to like try and get out of the situation he's in. He's saying that because I mean, it's hard not to believe that's genuinely what he experienced.
Well, I mean, it really was an uncontrollable force. He had unchecked schizophrenia.
That's the part that scares me.
Yeah.
Is the fact that that could happen to, I guess, anyone.
Yeah.
Like it just so happened to be the guy that had a rough upbringing, kind of.
It was the perfect storm of shitty childhood, domineering parents or mother, and then complete isolation.
Yeah, and no like control or any type of like getting a grip on his condition, and it just like compounded over time.
If there was any serial killer or murderer in history that I had an ounce of not empathy, but like I don't even know the word I'm looking for. If I felt sorry for any of them in the slightest, it would be Ed Gein. What he did was horrible, but he was set up to fail.
Yeah, I mean,
and then he was left to his own devices.
Yeah,
for
you're
10 years.
dealt a bad hand, and then you're encouraged to play it. So it's like a bad outcome is the only outcome for him.
Yeah. Very
From birth, he did not have a way out of what he was dealing with.
I mean, you're living, which we'll get into what I won't go any further than that. I'm going to get into what I was about to say.
Okay.
Ed Gein is one of the most infamous killers in American history. Not because of how many lives he took, but because of what he did with the ones he did take. His crimes went far beyond murder. They were acts of desecration that blurred the line between insanity and evil. What makes Ed's case so haunting is that it unfolded during a time when the world still knew very little about mental illness, or about how a childhood shaped by isolation, abuse, and religious fanaticism could twist a mind beyond repair. His House of Horrors in Plainfield didn't just horrify a small Wisconsin town, it shook popular culture to its core. And its echoes are still felt today. Robert Bloch, who lived just 35 miles away, took direct inspiration from Gein when he wrote Psycho in 1959. 1 year later, Alfred Hitchcock adapted the story for the screen, creating one of the most enduring horror films of all time. A decade later, Tobe Hooper would channel Gein's grotesque imagination into the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. And years after that, Thomas Harris introduced the world to The Silence of the Lambs, Buffalo Bill, another killer who, like Ed, sought to become someone else through skin and ritual. Ed Gein's legacy is a dark reminder that sometimes the most terrifying monsters don't come from stories or superstition. They come from small towns, quiet farms, and places that we least expect. And that is the story of Ed Gein.
Pretty dark stuff, I would say. I think you kind of touched on it earlier with the perfect storm. Because, like, you take away any of the variables that were kind of there during his, reign of terror, if you will.
Yeah.
Like, take out the controlling mother, take out the mental illness, take out the lack of supervision, like, throughout his childhood. Like, take away any of that stuff, and you probably have a completely different person.
Yeah.
That just grew up to tend the farm and get a job, get married, blah, blah, blah.
I mean, for the time, there were plenty of undereducated men who lived and died on a family farm, didn't hurt anybody. They worked, and that was it.
And then you take any one of those and you add in schizophrenia, or you add in a crazy, like, insane, like, parental figure, or any other combination of what Ed was dealt. You add any of that into their life, and you're probably going to get the same result.
But Ed, everything went wrong for him from the jump.
It's hard not to feel a little bit of pity for him.
Yeah.
But it's also, like, if someone that has nothing to lose and nothing to gain says, well, that was an uncontrollable force acting on me, like, I didn't have any control over it.
Yeah.
And it kind of makes you wonder, like, well, then what the hell's going on?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. All that being said, he still did horrible things, and he deserved confinement in a mental institution for the rest of his life. He should not have been free. He deprived people of loved ones. He desecrated people's loved ones.
Yeah,
what he did was horrible.
Yeah, out of your control or not, you should not be in public.
Yeah.
And you should be heavily medicated, if not put to death. I'm sure the death penalty was probably on the table at some point.
Oh, for sure, yeah. Yeah, I'm sure, families of the victims probably
lobbied for it.
Bernice Worthen's son was a sheriff deputy. I'm sure he was telling somebody,
I
want him killed.
Yeah. And I don't blame him one bit.
No, not at all. I get it.
Yeah. That's just
very unfortunate.
It is. I will definitely have to check out the documentary.
Yes, I'm glad you mentioned that. Like I said, take it with a grain of salt. There were a lot of things in the show that were in the show simply to make it more entertaining.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to give you any spoilers because you should watch it.
Happens a lot with your, like, big name serial killer, or you name it. The thing that's popular at the moment is, how many episodes can we make? What filler information can we put in to make these episodes longer? Blah, blah, blah.
But, I mean, the monster series on Dahmer, I think it followed things pretty closely, and it was wildly successful.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Ed Gein's story was horrifying enough. You didn't have to add things to make it more interesting.
That's true, but with his story, his is kind of like the haymaker punch, right? Like, at some point, like with Dahmer killed a bunch of people.
Yeah.
So each episode could be, like, about maybe a different person. But with Gein, like, he just kind of is known for that one event.
Yeah.
Like, obviously decorating his house with human body parts.
Yeah.
And making clothing and all that. So it's hard to... Like, I don't know, maybe it's hard to make a bunch of episodes because you don't want to just do like a one and done.
He spent nearly 10 years in the house by himself. Like, there was a lot of speculation, I guess.
True.
And you have what he told you after the fact.
Yeah. You just have to take his word for it.
Yeah. But, yeah, definitely worth a watch. Don't watch it if you're wanting to see a true story of Ed Gein. Watch it going in with the mindset of, I want to be entertained.
Yeah. Which that's what it is anyway. I mean, that 99% of your documentaries is going to be just not necessarily false information, but maybe it's implied information that has not been verified.
Yeah.
That no one's ever going to prove wrong anyway, so we may as well throw it in.
Netflix is a business. They have to get people to want to watch this.
Yeah. And I think they do a pretty good job, though. Like, I mean, there's obviously... I think it's all right. Let me watch the...
There is one part, I think you'll understand it when you see it, that I completely disagree with, and how if I was the living descendants of Bernice Worden, I would be like suing Netflix over.
Oh wow, really?
There's a part in there that just makes absolutely no sense whatsoever. It shouldn't have been added.
Wow. Okay.
But
we'll have to give it a watch.
That's my gripe about it. Watch it if you want to be entertained. Don't go in expecting to learn the story for the facts.
Which I can say is typical for any streaming service, not just Netflix.
Yeah.
There aren't many that are going to get the facts 100%, which I think is a testament to the media access. Anyway, I think it's hard to get your hands on bona fide facts anyway. However, yes, wonderful episode. I learned a lot of things. I think I would have slept better tonight not learning, but it was just interesting nonetheless.
I think one of the worst parts is, 1957 is when he was arrested.
Mm-hmm.
No one really understood what schizophrenia was. No. So
I would argue that 70 years later we still don't.
Well, yeah, I guess that's fair.
I mean, I'm sure we know more than we did then, but
he was giving signs around town. Just no one knew what to look for. So this maybe could have been prevented. It probably would have been prevented in today's, or in this day and age.
Yeah, more than likely.
Because people are aware. He's creepy. Something's going on.
Yeah, you keep a close eye on him, but it also comes into the parenting thing. Like, you fast forward Augusta to today's world with that same mindset. Would she even go out of her way to say, "Hey, something's wrong with my son," or wanting the big, strong sons like she's always wanted? Would she just be like, no, he's just different, but he's fine?
I don't think she was a very nurturing mother.
I don't either. That's what I'm saying. I don't think she would have went out of her way to fix anything.
Well, yeah.
I think she would have swept it under the rug and forced him to, quote unquote, be normal. I guess.
Pray. Yeah. That would have been the gist of her parenting.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, that's going to do it for this episode of Tinfoil Talk. If you enjoy the show, make sure to follow or subscribe wherever you're listening. And if you really want to help us out, leave a quick rating and review. That really helps us. Tell everyone you know about us. You can also find us on Instagram and YouTube. Just search Tinfoil Talk. Thanks for hanging out with us tonight. Until next time, grab a beer, put on your tinfoil. We'll see you soon.
Love you, bye.